Welcome back, everybody, to the Fantasy Hockey Hacks YouTube channel, a proud member of the Hockey Podcast Network. And we're the official podcast of Left Wing Lock, your number one source for fantasy hockey intelligence. I'm Devon Davidson. With me, as always, Bruce Gunther. Bruce, how you doing?
Hello. Good. Shoehorned into the corner of my office here today, but we're working it out.
We're working out all the kinks here for our live stream. Our apologies, we started a bit late today, but you know what? We both still work full-time jobs here, so of course things come up, and Bruce is a pretty important guy. He gets busy from time to time. Hey, Bruce.
Yeah, and I think I have my lighting issue fixed. You can actually see more of me of just my forehead. So
That's fantastic.
yeah.
Okay, well, we got lots to get to here, so let's roll through it.
All right.
We've got games from last night, so starting it off here, Tampa, Florida. You called that one correctly. I did not. I had Florida winning that one, and they more or less got shelled by Tampa.
Yeah, it was I didn't catch the game, but from the notes, something there was a disallowed goal that kind of did the Panthers in, and that's kind of where it all unraveled after that disallowed goal.
The other thing, too, was the power play made the difference last night. I think Tampa was, oh boy, I'm just checking my notes here, 3 for 6. 3 for 6 on the power play.
Yeah, and Florida went 0 for whatever. They were
for whatever.
again. They were just as in oh no. That's if they're going to beat Tampa, they need the power play to work. That's because Tampa's is working, and they had no Braden Point last night. So,
yep. Big fat goose egg, 0 for 3 in the power plays. They're now 0 for 21, Bruce, through 7 playoff games so far this spring.
That's painful.
I can't believe that. That's honestly shocking to me. I never would have guessed that.
No, me neither. I wouldn't have thought that either.
And still, Florida carried the play again, 5-on-5. They had a 56 Corsi 4 percentage, shots for. They outshot them 22-21, 5-on-5, and had more scoring chances, 22-16 scoring chances for 5-on-5 for Florida.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, both goaltenders are great. 5-on-5, they had a 952 save percentage or better. Vasilevsky was excellent, 972 save percentage and a 2.50 goals saved above expected. So he was back to regular playoff Vasilevsky that we're all used to.
Yeah, that's also trouble for Florida.
Yeah, well, and especially when you look at Bobrovsky's save percentage, 889 in all situations last night. So
yeah, there was some regression, but not in a good way.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair to him, like we said, 3 of those goals happened on the power play, so
yeah.
Not a whole lot you can do there. And then the big performers for Tampa were Nikita Kucherov and Corey Perry.
Yeah, Kucherov is quietly having a good playoffs again this year,
and so is Corey Perry, right? Like he's been going back to 3 seasons ago because he's been to like Montreal, Dallas, and now Tampa.
Yeah. Well, obviously Tampa liked what they saw, right? Because they played against him last year in the finals, so they liked what he saw and they wanted that, so they signed him up.
Yeah, so he had 1 power play goal, 1 assist, 4 shots, 5 shot attempts, 5 individual scoring chances, 4 high danger scoring chances. He had 71% power play share, Bruce. I didn't expect that. He played over 6 minutes, like 16 minutes total time on ice, and over 6 minutes of that was on the power play.
So he basically got Braden Point's time on the power play, basically.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way.
He's built for the playoffs, so that's what he does. It's
even better. He was the 4th best skater in DraftKings last night at 20.80 fantasy points and just $2,600 on your DraftKings salary. So if you played Corey Perry last night, good on you.
I thought about it, but I didn't.
Okay, let's move on to St. Louis, Colorado. I guess the big story there has got to be Jordan Binnington, right?
The Jordan Binnington show.
Yeah. 51 saves, a career best, 51 saves in the playoffs, 54 total shots he faced, a 2.65 goals against average, a 944 save percentage, and a 2.11 goals saved above expected.
It's just, I watched the highlights, and it's just some of those saves, I couldn't believe it. From what I read today from all the notes, that the only reason why St. Louis was in this game was because of Binnington.
Absolutely. They had no place actually in overtime, but he held them in there. I want to say, I think you and I were talking about this, and I've checked my notes, so don't quote me on this, but I think they had 106 shot attempts. I actually put it in here, and a 70.2 Corsi 4 percentage for Colorado. So they're absolutely dominant 5-on-5.
They're crushing them, literally crushing them.
It got worse in the overtime period where they had 13 shots on goal to St. Louis's 0 and a 90 Corsi 4 percentage. So they didn't have a sniff in overtime, Bruce.
No, they did. Colorado wanted to end it, and they basically beat the hell out of Binnington until one went through.
And actually,
I don't think he saw the goal either. There were so many bodies in front of him. I don't think he saw it.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, there was 4 or 5 bodies in front of him. There's no way he saw that puck. Ryan O'Reilly continues to be great. He was the best skater for the Blues for sure. 1 goal, 5 shots on goal, 6 shot attempts, 4 individual scoring chances, 3 hits, 2 blocks, and it was just about 23 minutes time on ice. So that was the story there at forward for the Blues. And then 2 defensemen not named Cale Makar, Bruce, actually had a significant impact on this hockey game. We're going to start with Sammy Girard. So 1 goal plus 2, 7 shots on goal. He had 11 shot attempts, 2 hits, 4 blocks, played over 23 minutes. He was your top skater in DraftKings last night, actually, at 30.20 fantasy points and just $2,900 for the salary.
Another fantastic value.
Yeah, so definitely keep an eye on him moving forward. Josh Manson, though, was the hero in overtime. He was the 4th D-man in Avs and Nordique's franchise history to score an OT winner. He had 1 assist as well, plus 2, 4 shots on goal, and 8 shot attempts. So some good stuff there from him.
They're just firing from everywhere, right?
Yeah, well, speaking of which, you want to hear a crazy stat from Nathan McKinnon?
Yeah, let's go.
He is averaging 7.4 shots on goal per game through 5 playoff contests so far this year.
Wow.
That's insane. Yeah.
It is.
What's incredible is he didn't actually score, but he had 1 assist. He had 8 shots on goal last night, 12 shot attempts, 4 scoring chances and played over 24 minutes time on ice.
Yeah, he wants to win, right? He wasn't happy how last year ended. He wants to win, and he's putting in the work. There is no doubt about that.
He's out to prove a point.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that does it for last night's action. Let's get to today's games, Bruce.
All right.
Starting with the Rangers and the Carolina Hurricanes, we've got the New York Rangers plus 145 on the money line, Carolina minus 165 on the money line at home. Antti Raanta is your confirmed starter for the Hurricanes. He has got a .927 save percentage, a 2.37 goals against average, and a 3.24 goals saved above expected through the first round of the playoffs. Shesterkin is going to start for the Rangers, looks like 2.04 goals against average, a .935 save percentage, and a 3.63 goals saved above expected. Both teams seem to have struggled 5-on-5, Bruce, in their opening round series. Both had Corsi 4 percentages below 50, same with their shots for. The difference, Carolina actually managed to outscore the Bruins, like we had mentioned in the past, 16-10, 5-on-5, and then I believe their scoring chances for was just above 50%. But I would expect the possession numbers to be better in this series for Carolina. We kind of know the Rangers.
Yeah, I don't know if the Rangers will get better, but Carolina's will get better.
I expect them to, for sure.
Yeah.
Carolina's leading scorer, Jacob Slavin, 8 points, 2 goals, 12 shots on goal. For the Rangers, it's Mika Zibanejad.
I still have trouble understanding how Slavin's the top scorer for Carolina, but that's
we
found a way to win. That's the important thing.
They did, and that kind of segues into before I move on, Zibanejad's the leading scorer for the Rangers, 11 points, 3 goals, 24 shots on goal. But that point just segues into this one, is that for Carolina to win this series, Bruce, I think they need more from Svechnikov and they need more from Aho, who I think Svechnikov only had 4 points in that opening round. So we need more from him.
And do you know what Aho had for points?
I think he had 5 points, Bruce.
5? That's not bad.
It's not terrible, right?
You need more from your top players, though.
Yeah. For the Rangers to win in this one, though, I think they're going to have to get regular season Shesterkin, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And improve 5-on-5 play. And then I said success in the power play. I think their power play is ranked 4th right now at 30.8%, somewhere in that range, 30 or 31%. So,
yeah, they'll need their special teams for sure.
I'm going to go with Carolina this one at home, minus 165. I should have checked what the puck line was. I did not do that, so my apologies. Bruce, you feel the same way?
Yeah, I'm going with Carolina too in this one.
All right.
I think Igor's going to see a lot of rubber, but I don't think it's like one more is going to get by him than Raanta.
And Ranta's been good, right? I mean, no complaints there. He hasn't been the best goaltender in the playoffs, but
No, he's been a good replacement here for Freddie Anderson while he's been away.
And apparently the media was told today or yesterday to just stop asking about Freddie Anderson because until he participates in practice, the answer is going to be the same.
Back.
Yeah. They kind of expect he'll be back somewhere in the middle games of this round.
Well, Rant is doing a great job in his absence for him, that's for sure.
All right, let's move on to the one that we're really excited about here, Bruce. The Battle of Alberta, game number one.
Alberta.
For the first time since 1991. Expect Mike Smith to start. 229 goals against average, 938 save percentage, 7.53 goals saved above expected in the first round. Markstrom, even a little bit better, 1.53 goals against average, a 943 save percentage, and a 6.14 goals saved above expected. Both teams had good possession numbers, good shot metrics. They were both well above 50%. Calgary was even a little bit better. They had a 61 Corsi for percentage. They definitely. I mean, no surprise, right? It was the Ottinger show in round one.
Ottinger show, yeah, that was the only thing that kept Dallas in the series was Ottinger.
Yeah. Edmonton actually scored more goals 5-on-5 in the opening round. So Edmonton was 16-12 for a 57.14 goals for percentage, and Calgary was 55.56. They were 10-8 5-on-5.
Okay.
And, the other thing here is advantage Edmonton, where they have the better power play, like a significantly better power play.
Oh, yeah. It's, yeah, at least in the first round, at least anyway, right? It's, well, you look at that power play, it's amazing. That's just what the Oilers' power play is. It's amazing.
Well, they're sitting tied first in the league right now at 36.8%, I believe it is. So, I mean, advantage Edmonton there. Calgary is sitting at 15th, so second last right now through the playoffs at just 8.3%. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there, 5-on-5. Calgary's leading scorer is Johnny Gaudreau, 8 points, 2 goals, 25 shots on goal. He had 50 shot attempts in that first series.
No surprise there.
Connor McDavid, leading scorer for the Oilers, 14 points, 4 goals, 27 shots on goal. He had 55 shot attempts on net in the opening round.
Wow.
Let's go through some keys to win this game, Bruce. I think for Edmonton, same old story, right? They have to start on time.
They absolutely have to start on time or they're going to find themselves down in a hurry.
Yeah, and it's going to be tough to scrape back from that one because then our buddy Daryl Sutter is just going to play some trap hockey and it's going to get real boring real fast.
Pretty much.
I think for Edmonton, they got to stay disciplined too. I mean, I know the power play is not great for Calgary, but that could change here in this round, and you don't want to give them any life on the power play.
No, for sure, because, well, and you look at the two goaltenders, right? You look at Markstrom and Smith. Smith is playing well now, but Markstrom's body of work over the whole season is quite a bit better than Smith's, so we'll see what happens here in the playoffs. That's my concern for the Oilers going in is, can Smith hold together through this?
That's the question everyone's wondering, right? Are we going to get the same Smith in round one or in round two that we had in round one? Yeah. And the other thing too is just special teams, win the special teams battle. So if they can continue what happened in round one, I think the Oilers will find some success here.
Most definitely.
For Calgary, they're going to have to play physical. I think that's a big thing. Is they're going to have to kind of do what the Oilers did to the Kings in games 5, 6, and 7, right? And just try to.
Yeah, be physical. Tkachuk is going to start his games again. He's going to try and goat Cassian and stuff into doing stupid things, which he's had success doing in the past. So the Oilers have to be very careful with that, right? Because Cassian, Kane, they both tend to be a little hot-headed sometimes. So
Mike Smith,
they can get in Smith's grill. It could get ugly real fast for the Oilers if they don't. They don't keep their heads about him in this. That's one of my fears going into this.
The Flames are going to have to try and shut down Connor McDavid too, which at this point, and the Oilers' power play seems next to impossible.
Yeah, the Oilers are going to score goals. There's no doubt about it, but they just have to limit how many goals they score.
Yeah. And then I guess just continued dominance for Calgary 5-on-5. I'm not sure that they're going to be able to have complete dominance against the Oilers the way they did against Dallas, but that's going to be a key for them is if they can win the 5-on-5 battle and maybe let Edmonton win the special teams.
It's going to be a much more even battle on 5-on-5. I think at least if the Oilers can play the way they did in games 5 and 6 of the previous series. They need that going forward to have a chance to win this.
Yeah,
they can't just lean on playoff Connor, as I will start calling it.
Quick shout out to Jared. He just left a comment here. Jared, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. I'm not sure if you saw that comment, Bruce, but apparently we suck less than we thought. So,
yay!
All right. Anyway, for this game, I'm going to take the Oilers at plus 140 on the money line. That's my team. I know I'm a complete homer. That's okay. I've accepted that fact. I'm going to take Edmonton to take game 1 and surprise Calgary and their fans on home ice. Bruce, you feel differently, though.
I'm going with the non-homer script for tonight. I'm picking the Flames to come out, and I picked the Flames because I think they will come out. I think they will be the better team tonight. I'm just hoping it doesn't get ugly. That's my fear is that the Flames are going to come out flying and the Oilers are going to be late to the show again, and it's going to get ugly real fast in the first game. That's my fear, but
it could.
I'm picking Calgary to win.
Okay. One last point on that. I think a lot of people still have in their mind that 9-5 game from back in February, I think, whenever it was, the last time the Oilers played the Flames in the regular season. And one thing I'll just say about that quickly, if you're not a fan of the team, if you don't watch them on a regular basis, they were a very, very different team in terms of 5-on-5 play, possession metrics, everything, when they were being coached by Dave Tippett as opposed to Jay Woodcroft. So I think you got to just take that with a grain of salt, and I think we'll have a tighter game tonight, I think.
Oh, it's definitely going to be tighter, definitely. But like I said, I have some reservations. I still pick the Oilers to win the series, but I think first game 1's going to Calgary. Yeah,
we're all a little concerned, Bruce. No question. All right, my record to date: 33 for 53, 62.26%. Bruce, 52.83%, so 28 for 53. You are catching up. You're improving. You're getting better all the time, so that's good. Let's talk prop bets here. So first up, goal props. I like Andrei Svechnikov for an anytime goal, plus 190. He leads the Canes with 19 shots on goal, 45 shot attempts, and 31 individual scoring chances for. So he's done a lot of really good things. He's got some goals already in the playoffs, but I think we'll see more from him tonight. Connor McDavid for an anytime goal at plus 140. If you can get plus 140 for Connor McDavid for an anytime goal, I'm going to take it because I think he's going to be extra motivated against Calgary in the second round here. Yeah,
unless they're using every player on the ice to cover him, he's pretty much sure to score at least one goal tonight.
So there you go. Also, 15 points, 6 goals in his last 10 regular season games versus Calgary.
Yeah, he's scoring tonight. There's no doubt about it.
Shot props. Ryan Strome, over 2.5 shots on goal, plus 120. He had 23 shots on goal, Bruce. I think he actually led the Rangers in shots on goal. I didn't know that.
Did not know that either.
3.28 shots on goal per game in that series, and he's got 2.68 shots on goal per game dating back to April 1st. So that is definitely somebody that I'm going to give a look to this evening. One thing, too, is he's playing with Panarin and with Kopp at 5-on-5, so that doesn't hurt, right? And then, too, he's playing on that top power play unit.
Yep.
Blake Coleman, over 2.5 shots on goal, plus 125. 20 shots on goal versus Dallas for 2.85 shots on goal per game. And he's playing in the top 6 with Backlund and Mangiapane right now, at least according to our friends over at Left Wing Lock.
Very nice.
And then prop bets, goalie saves. My apologies. Jacob Markstrom, over 28.5 saves, minus 105. There was no plus money on goalie saves today, so this was the best odds at minus 105. Edmonton has averaged 35 shots on goal per game in the opening round of the playoffs.
Be nice if the trend continues.
Yeah, I'd like to get 45 or 50 shots on goal tonight, so Let's hope for that. All right, DFS picks for tonight. Obviously, no surprise here. I'm a fan of Connor McDavid for the evening. 17.6 DraftKings fantasy points per game on average throughout the season, but he averaged 25.75 points against LA in the opening round. So I'm going to spend up for him. Evander Kane, $6,400. I'd maybe change this pick now because Bob Stauffer from Oilers Now actually just was speaking to somebody this morning. It sounds like Leon Draisaitl is going to play pretty much exclusively left wing in this series. Excuse me.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah, like we know he's struggling with what appears to be a high ankle sprain, Bruce, and so for that reason, he's going to be on the wing. And if he's playing with Connor McDavid, maybe that's the winger I would probably stack this evening. as opposed to Evander Kane, who's going to be on the second line with Nugent Hopkins and Hyman most likely. But still, saying that, Evander Kane, he averaged 21.62 points against LA. Jacob Slavin, we like Slavin, Bruce, right? I mean, he's just leading the skaters in Carolina in points. Antti Ranta, I like him. He's actually the top priced goalie tonight in DraftKings, and I just think they've got a good chance to win tonight, and he will still face some shots. Seth Jarvis, for all the things I mentioned about Svechnikov, I think Seth Jarvis also had 19 shots on goal, which leads Carolina in shots on goal. And I think similar in shot attempts, he might be second. But either way, I like some of the things he's doing. He's on the top power play unit, on the top line. And at $3,400, he's a nice value there. So for the stack tonight, I'm going with Aho, Svechnikov, Jarvis, and Slavin. Take it away, Bruce.
All right. So for me, there's a decided Calgary Flames sliver to mine for tonight. So
Tyler would not approve.
No, Tyler would not approve. But, so for my center, Elias Lindholm, $6,300. He was averaging 12.6 points. I didn't see what his playoff points were. Wingers, Johnny Gaudreau. Defenseman, Jacob Slavin. Obviously, we discussed that earlier. Goalie, I went with Shesterkin. I think the game between Carolina and New York is going to be close. And I think Igor is going to see more shots than Ranta is. So I picked him in that case. And while we talked about Seth Jarvis a number of times here, he's still playing on the top line for Carolina. So I like that placement as well, especially for the value at $3,400. And then my stack for tonight is Calgary's top line. Lindholm, Gaudreau, and Tkachuk.
All right. One of us is going to be very right, Bruce, and one of us is going to be very wrong, but that's okay.
Yep.
Okay, so that does it for today's show. Again, our apologies for starting a bit late, but that sometimes happens. It's all good. If you haven't already checked out our podcast, make sure to listen to it on your podcast directory of choice. Follow us on Twitter at FHHacks, on Instagram at Fantasy Hockey Hacks. Check out our website, fantasyhockeyhacks.com. And thanks again, Bruce. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Take care.